Hi, folks. I hope you're well. So, I went to that church again, the whatever it's called. Yeah, they had I don't know what it's called today. A brunch thing, I think. Yeah, food there, breakfast food for people. Yeah, which of course I had breakfast before because I didn't even know they're doing that. If I knew they were blinking or doing it, I wouldn't have had breakfast. But there you go. Yeah. So it is what it is. And so with that situation, yeah. It was okay. I spoke to a few people and listened to what they were saying and shared some things with them. So hopefully that was good. It was an enjoyable enough time. I had a few half cups of coffee, and yeah, speaking to some of the men in the church. So yeah, interesting. Yeah, one of them's a bus driver. One of them's a teacher. I don't know what the other one does. But we were talking because the one who's a bus driver has moved into a flat where he's on his own. And he said he loves it because I said to him, "Do you find it lonely?" He said, "No." He said he had a massive family, 7 siblings. So therefore, having that space to himself is absolutely beautiful. The other bloke we were speaking to, he said he hated being alone. Yeah, he moved in, he was married, then split up, then moved into a flat on his own, and he absolutely hated it. He felt so alone. Yeah. The same thing for different people can have a completely different effect on those people. And that's a good reminder of that sort of thing. And I've said that all the way through, saying, when we think about how other people struggle with certain things, we can think, oh, that'd be easy for us. Yeah. Because you've got the tools for that. And, again, maybe you're like a bus driver. Maybe you had a big family, so being alone is good. You enjoy your alone time. Someone who's been alone for most of their life doesn't enjoy as much alone time. Or someone who's been married and have their marriage split up and their wife and everything was everything to them. Yeah. And therefore losing that person makes you feel like half a person. And that's going to be horrendous being alone in that situation. So yeah, and there was other conversations that I had with the teacher we were speaking before and after the other people. Yeah. Yeah. It was interesting, yes. Well, then afterwards, I thought, okay, I'm going to go and see this person I know just over the road from me because he said the other day he's got a Nissan Note that he bought from his sister years ago. And he's basically, well, he knackered the boot of it. Some of the wiring went wrong, and instead of getting it dealt with properly, he tried to fix it himself and completely knackered it. So the boot doesn't open. But he said the other day, if I can get insured, then we can share the note because he has a big red van and he drives his girlfriend's car because she can't drive. She's got a car, but she can't drive. So he drives that. So he's got two cars to drive. He doesn't really drive the note anymore. So he said, if I can get insurance, I can use that. Okay. So I thought I'll go around today to get the details, the reg of the car. And he said that his insurance company is far cheaper. So I should phone them. So I went round to get their number. As soon as I mentioned the car, he said, oh, no, no, no. What I said is, if I'm not with her, no. That's not what he said. Because basically he's saying that she won't agree to it. Right, even though it's not her car, it's his car. It's a car that he had way before he met her. And so therefore it's irrelevant to her what he does with that car. But actually, if he's not with her, he will have one car less. Because her little white car, he won't have that to use because they won't be together anymore. So therefore he won't be able to use that. So when he's saying, well, actually, if he's not with her, then I could share the Nissan. No, I couldn't. Because he'd need it. So when he said that, again, he was saying to me, stupid. He was saying basically I should call the insurance company and don't tell them about the 7 points on my license. And I said, when you get insurance, you have to give your license number. On the license number, it will tell them that there's 7 points. So why on earth would I try to lie about that? But always the idea of lying. That's why he's a liar. That's why he lied to me the other day, and that's why he lied to me today. When he said he'd be happy for me to share the car, no, he isn't. He just said that to make himself look good. Because when it came down to it, he was always had a ready excuse for saying no. And he always would have. From his point of view, what he says to me is that he's in an abusive relationship, right? That this woman is abusing him and has done many things. The examples he gives sounds like it's an incredibly abusive relationship, right? Every year, he says that he's going to leave her. Every time they have a big argument, he says he's not going to answer the phone to her again, and yet 5 minutes later, he answers the blinking phone to her. She tells him, "I'm sorry, I didn't really mean it," and then he's straight back round there. Right? So if he'd have said to me the other day, what he's now saying, that if he wasn't with her, I could use that car, I would never have believed I could go nowhere near that car. Because I know that he's not going to leave her. So now I want nothing whatsoever to do with that bloke. That's going to cause a problem, though, because when I move, how am I going to get stuff from A to B? Because I can't drive. What 7 points? Am I going to hire a van? That's going to be really expensive, isn't it? I mean, I could do it, I suppose, but yeah. I need neighbours who can help me there now to get stuff from A to B, get stuff in the blinking van. It was going to be him, but I can't trust him at all, not in any way, shape, or form. I just can't trust him now. I know that. I know that he is a liar, because if he's someone who keeps on he says that he lies to his own insurance company to get the insurance cheaper. For goodness sake, if they find out, yeah, that's a serious offence. Such an incredible... What, for a couple of quid? Yeah. The problem is that for a long time, he was a helpful friend. Yeah, when I had a car that needed work, he could do it. When I had the thing outside, the flat was flooding, I needed a frame to put tarp over it. He helped me to do that. So, in a way, he's earned a lot of time of being worthless and useless and annoying. But he's been worthless, useless, and annoying for the last, going to be at least 5 years. Yeah. Well, because he stopped dealing with cars. He won't come around and help with any other situation because of her. Because she won't let him do that. Apparently, according to him. And yeah. And all it is just you deal with the bloke and all you get is frustrated. Because he says these things to make himself look good. And then, yeah. Yeah. Well, as I say, you've got to choose your friends, and you've got to understand, if someone is helpful to your life at a time, then obviously that person needs to be in your life. But then when a person not just becomes unhelpful, but even worse than unhelpful, then you've just got to say, okay. Well, I said to him when I was with him, if people in the future say they're going to help you when you really need help, and then when you go to them for that, saying, "No, sorry, I can't do it. Someone else said I shouldn't." You can't blame them, because that's what you do. Because he noticed I wasn't in a good mood. Well, of course I'm not in a good mood. If you tell me that you're going to do something which would be incredibly helpful to me, and then as soon as I say do it, you pull the rug out, which is what you've done so many blinking times. At one point, he said to me, he was trying to get me to pay for the insurance for his car to give him the money for that, the same card, the note, saying to me that I can share the car with him if I do that. So a number of times he's offered me to share that car. Thankfully, I never gave him the money for the insurance, because if I had, what would have happened? He would have said, no, what I meant was, if I continued to be with her, then that would be the case. Yeah. Then that would be the case. Oh, yeah. You just get the same old with people, don't you, sometimes? And yeah. Yeah. But yes. As I say, I'm thankful for him being there during the times that he was incredibly useful. Yeah, I'm thankful to him for the fact he was there during that time. But even during that time, yeah, he was still very difficult to deal with at times. Yeah. Even when he helped to do things, he demanded it had to be done his way. And then when his way didn't work, which I'd already told him it wouldn't, he then eventually said, okay, we'll try it your way. And it worked. Not every time, but yeah. Because sometimes his way worked. Yeah. But in the end, it is what it is. You get swings and roundabouts with people. Now, it's just not good. So you take care. God bless. Bye-bye.